Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Kaiserreich, the Ottoman Empire. Let's continue on for the last left off. So it's February 1936. We've passed by a single month. Slytherin's elected in France. Black Monday, the 5th. Like, the Afghanistan-Indian War literally just happened. It's incredible. Anyways, vote on the Education Decree. Including the controversial Co-Education Unification Act, the Chamber of Representatives was presented today with a wide variety of decrees and plans by the modernist OHF. As the OHF has a majority in the House after their 1935 electoral success, many are worried that the Sultan may yet interfere through the Senate, whose members are almost entirely appointed by the Pashir himself. Known for being a devout Muslim and sharing many of the conservative tendencies of the opposition, Sultan has kept himself absent from the political process ever since his ascension 10 years ago. Either because of the general apathy or, as some whisper, out of fear that what happened to him at the second may yet happen to him as well. With the future of religious education through the Medrese now on the line, however, many expect the Caliph of Islam to finally take a stance against the secularists. Well, we're going to let the law pass. And like I said last episode, is I don't really have an exact plan. We don't have economic depression yet. So let's go with Penal Code. And we should get our Black Monday in just a moment. The Grand Vizier speaks to the international press. Speaking to the editors at both Constantine and international papers, the Grand Vizier has given a statement on the success of the vote and the expansion of the ministry. The decision taken by the Ottoman Parliament today is what the nation has wanted, naturally and genuinely. There is no need to look at it as something extraordinary. Showing off the stack of letters he had received from intellectuals over the empire, the Raj has once again shown to the international press that the people that stand behind him. Thank you for the 3% stability. That, you know, our stability is going to be bad. You know, in due time. Ooh, the Russian Civil War. Okay, okay. So we're going to be having... Well, I mean, usually Russian Socialist Republic always win. Just kind of like, not programmed for them to win, but they're heavily favored to win. Okay. We'll see how that kind of shakes out. But again, like, we're still going to be trading with Germany here, so it still is in our favor. On to the shit that publishes The Genesis of Nations. A journalist from Beirut is making shotwaves in the Syrian Vilayet with his romantic view on a greater Syria free from Ottoman rule. Taking inspiration from the ancient Syrian Empire and their turn to the Fertile Crescent of old, he pleads for the nation to spread from the Suez Canal in the south to the Taurus Mountains in the north, and from Kuwait in the east to Cyprus in the west. The survival of a nation consisting of such a massive amount of different ethnicities and religions may seem like a fairy tale. The man not only follows closely to Kemal's ideas of a secular state, but is also inspiration by the syndicalist powers seems apparent as well. With the focus on abolishing feudalism, nationalizing the vital areas of the economy, mandatory education, and universal health care. Well, Beirut's going to be a little bit more upset with us. It's currently on low, which is like a 2% stability penalty. Finland's declared war on Russia, that's fine. I think Alasha Orda sometimes also declares war on the Russians, but I'm not too sure. It used to be that the Don Cuban Union would also invade the Russian Socialist Republic, but of course Don Cuban Union doesn't even exist anymore. Okay, so I'm guessing this is Black Monday. Crisis, chaos, disaster! All over the world, economists and business owners are in a state of panic as the unthinkable finally happened earlier this week, when the Berlin Stock Exchange collapsed. Similar to Berlin, Constantine is on high alert for any change in the situation as they watch the economy collapse into the ground. Nonetheless, there is far less of a crisis in the empire than many initially expected. As protectionist nature of the empire during the 1920s had formed a foundation of a structure capable of resisting both shocks on the global market. To ensure the fears of the private sector are quelled and to outline the next 4-year plan envisioned by the OHF economic planners, a second economic congress is planned to be held in the city of Samsun on the Black Sea. Combining both projects from the private sector and showcasing advances in the Turkish economy over the last few decades. It not only serves as a way to calm down Ottoman investors, but also showcase the modernizing Ottoman nation to the world. So we're getting a flat 20% penalty. Honestly, like it's a pretty bad Black Monday, but it's by far no means the worst we've seen. Getting a flat negative 20% stability though is not what I would call great. Okay, India and Afghanistan ended hostilities. I wonder if India's or Afghanistan's way more likely to win the war now because India's so much smaller. I'm not actually too sure. Also, we'll see actually White Ruthenia ends up rebelling against the Reichspakt to join the Russians. Because when Russia is socialist and Belarus stays social democratic. Okay, so we got a renovation of the palace. Fantastic, give me the stability. You can read this yourself. I don't think... We're not going to read... I realize now we probably read maybe a little bit too many events. maybe went a little too far. The OPAD strengthens its hold in the Mashriq. The Ottoman Party administration decentralization is making increasing waves in Mashriq to a variety of parties in the greater Syria region were absorbed into the organization. Okay, so social liberals are a little bit more popular. And the status of the Elliot Inyot Hizmeti. The intelligence apparatus of the state has been in disarray ever since the fall of the CUP and rogue adventures of Enver Pasha, taking with him a sizable portion of the special organizations whose aim was to instigate Muslim revolts against the imperialist powers and a crackdown on dissent in the Middle East. The remainder of the force was reorganized into the raid into the Exiled Security Service just after the conclusion of the Weltkrieg. A lack of experienced manpower and questionable alliances with many of its members, however, greatly hindered its performance, and its effectiveness of the force has been abysmal for over a decade now. To modernize the core and to make it an effective tool to keep our inner provinces in check, the Grand Viziers ordained it to complete the completely dismantlement and replace with a new entity, the National Security Service. Certain close friends and associates of the Grand Vizier, however, urged him not to take such drastic steps, as rumors of secret organization aligned to the former CUP within the force has thus far not been quelled, and some fear they should they feel tempered or feel the temperature under their feet rising, they may lash out and tear down all we have built. Well, yeah, let's wipe it clean. Okay, next up, so we can either go for failed to do judicial commission, or we get 15% more. 35 days is pretty fast. You know what? Let's get all of these done first, because there's a big penalty if we don't complete all these things. So I don't remember what the penalty is, but I prefer like to not face any penalties. Like maybe that's just me, but I don't want to be penalized. Okay, International Congress. Definitely gonna be supporting the Russians here. Yeah, because you're now fighting Finland as well. Like, if I was playing Russia in this situation, I would completely abandon Finland. Also, Transamere, this would be when I would strike, my man. Actually, can they attack? New leadership. They can. So Transamere could theoretically seize like all of Siberia. We'll see if they can end up getting that done. That would be, I was gonna say it would be beneficial. It's kind of like weird, because Transamere is like slightly aligned with the Japanese, and because we are pro-Reichspakt, we're also anti-Japanese. So it's a little hard to say. Rise in Damascus. Instigated by a sharp economic downturn in the region and populist rabble-rousers, the Syrian people seem to be shifting the blame for the current economic crisis towards the central Ottoman government. Rapid increase in price for agricultural produce in the meanwhile has taken a toll on the recently settled tribes of the Syrian hinterland, where banditry is increasing by the day. In the intellectual center of both Syria and the Ottoman Arabs in general, a general strike against the government has been called. More disturbing, however, is the increasing polarization of the political landscape in Syria, as groups such as the authoritarian SSNP and the Syrian Syndicalist Party are growing in size and influence. Damascus? Is there anything I can do in Damascus to lower this? Declare martial law. Complete focus OHF membership reward program. You need us to pass the maintenance of order law. What about you? Recruit local troops. We just need to be at war. Okay. That's more of a thing we do when we're actually at war with the Egyptians. Okay. The Committee for Judicial Reform. The civil code we have been using since the Tajmin era, or the Ministerial Code, was first codified in 1877, based on the Islamic Hanafi legal tradition. The code was first enforced under the United Law over all Ottoman citizens who previously, according to the Milat system, used their own codes. For decades, this code had remained mostly unchanged and is, in the eye of many, still an ancient relic of a bygone era. As it is based on the Islamic law, many other reformers have protested against it, as they feel that the religious law has no place in a modern secular state. Christian and Jewish citizens who previously used their own legal system remain discontent with it as well, and have urged the government to reform it and not outright replace the dated code. Mustafa Kemal, who is likewise adverse to its non-secular character, has thus opened a debate into the exploration of a legal reform and formed a committee tasked with investigating possible judicial reform. Consisting of the ulama, administration personnel, and Ottoman representatives from all the Malays, the committee will hopefully find a solution agreeable by all parties involved and shall present their findings as soon as possible. So we cannot do this. I would not mind being a single-party dictatorship. That seems completely fine by me. But again, we'll just kind of alliance convenience, settle old disputes. Let's just go to war with the Ottoman, or go to war with Germany. Actually, wait, no, it doesn't. We know this lets us join Germany, which is what I would like to do. So let's raise import tariffs now. I mean, if we can get like the alliance between us and the Austrians, I also wouldn't oppose that. I do see that Iran's now gone socialist. Not that that really matters. The DDY absorbs the Chemenge D for Ortius. The Chemenge D for Ortius has officially been integrating within DDY. Today, after a short round of funding by the government, was able to acquire the last remaining tracks from Austrian and German shareholders in the wake of the Berlin crash. The railway company, which was founded in 1868 to build a railway line connecting Vienna and Constantinople, has had a rough history as various wars, border adjustments, and financial crisis left it broken up. Okay, a worthy purchase. Give me the stability, please. But I will say, Iran is like a very, very weird situation whenever they go socialist, because they can align themselves with the Bharati commune, but that's really about it. I'm pretty sure Iran cannot actually join the Internationale. Which is very strange. I don't know why. Because I feel like they should be able to. Okay. Basis of our new reformed code. As the Sunlight Committee for the Judicial Reform is making progress in sifting through the 1851 articles of the Marseille Code, the majority of the reformers in the committee have suggested looking towards a Western inspiration. Multiple different codes have been discussed as a baseline through, although an overall tendency towards the Swiss civil code, both for its modernity and relatively easy application of the empire, seems to be prevailing. Others have pointed to the Austrian Empire's legacy as a multi-ethnic, multi-religious empire is eerily similar to our own, and a small core of hardline ulama, however, have urged their committee members to not abandon the proud traditions of the Sharia Code, and suggested a reform of the Marseille instead of a complete rewrite. Well, you know what? It's based on the Austrian Civil Code. Me and Austria can be friends. I see no reason not to. Like, we're going to probably be in the same alliance very soon. We can regulate you. Baghdad will get more unrest. Is that worth the Ottoman Empire? Okay, because they are socialist. Yes, let's regulate their pilgrims. Because we don't want them bringing any of their syndicalist ideas into the empire. No, sirree. We absolutely cannot allow that to happen. Okay, bread rights in Aleppo. Very upsetting. Women's rights. Under the Marseille Code, the status of women and men in our empire remains a vastly different affair. Both the women's share of the inheritance and the weight of women's testimony in courts is half of that of men. Subsequently, women are also barred from exercising all professions, which has given rise to a sizable emancipation movement, clamoring for change as women during the Weltkrieg were forced to take up a wide variety of professions and bonded together in small movements to out their non-violent protest against the government. Education as well, promoted by the late Vettient, also allowed women to involve themselves deeper in both politics and killed many a desire to perform a variety of strictly male professions. Polygamy and the vagueness of marital law was also up to reform, as they are not only seen as relics of the past, but an obfuscation of the future reforms. Legal marriage as well, now voluntary action, should be made compulsory according to the Committee for the All Ottoman Citizens, no matter the religion or ethnicity. So we get more power. You know what? Well, congratulations, women. You got rights. You're welcome. So we got 4 years of progress. Requires us to balance budget. We need to get our way down to you. Ottoman army. We also need to balance the budget for. Okay. The Poll Committee publishes a report. Headed by Sir Felix Pohl, former chairman of Britain's Great Western Railway, the Poll Committee was tasked last year with investigation of possible infrastructure expansion in the MOJ and solving the ever-increasing financial troubles of the Palestine railways. Although tasked with improving the local station and routes between Jerusalem, Jaffa, and Tel Aviv, the committee has now reported a substantial financial investment being necessary to solve the congestion issue and a connection for the Ottoman Haifa. Yes, you should realign yourselves with us. The MOJ should not have any independence. Also, give me one more factory on tanks. We need 9 steel. We'll get 1 steel from Germany. I'm going to get 1 aluminum from the Germans as well. Just a single aluminum piece, please. I mean, rubber's going to be a little bit slow. Like, we don't have enough factories to import everything we need, which is kind of sad. Give me another factory here. And then after that... Because you're the only 60% here. I guess we'll go with one more civilian factory here. That seems good enough to me. 10% more stability. More stability gets added here. Modify economic repression. You know what? Give me this. The stability would be nice. Okay, we've got a Pillar Ring of the SSNP, which I think is the National Populist wing of the of Syria. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the Syrians don't like us. That's not a surprise. Increase attacks in the Hejaz. Medina. You know what? We'll give them some more support as well. I do want Jamal Shimir to end up winning their war against the Nejd Hasha, because they're aligned with us. So, of course, having a friendly Arabian nation is going to be better than having a hostile one. I know, it's stunning, but it's true. Okay, so we got 2 cavalry. I'm going to send those over to the Bulgarian border. The war... I was going to say the war should be beginning soon, but that's actually not actually true, because it happens, like, early next year. Trouble in Fezian, which is over here, I think. You're Fezian, right? No, you're you're Fezian. When Ottoman rule was restored in the Fezian interior during the middle of the 20s, few accepted it with open arms, and during the subsequent years, the regime in Tripoli decided that maintaining its sizable force in the region would be too costly. Thus, retreat of all troops, bar some small garrisons in the urban areas, and led to an almost entirely autonomous position for the local tribes. So Fezzan, I mean, I don't care about Fezzan, but they are causing us a lovely stability hit. 10,000 men. Well, goodbye, guys. You're gonna be going over to this fucking desert, man. So you have fun with that. No template for supported equipment and towed artillery. Well, we're gonna throw artillery into the infantry. I don't know how low. Minus 164 is actually not that bad. Minus 126. Honestly, I'm fine with that. Yeah, we'll save this up. Of course, reinforcements are top priority, more so than the units we're currently training. In Armenia, well, yeah, local police force is usually the best. Why does Armenia hate us so much? Very high unrest. Okay, so because of the unrest here. Yeah, for an Ottoman authority will decrease. Right now, I guess we have, like... You know what? There we go. Take them down to high. That makes your... Hey, the resistant target is like half of what it used to be. That's fine by me. I don't know if there's a way to stop Armenia from rebelling against you. Okay, so Italy's elected Mussolini. You've elected Valois. You're still Horner. Okay. And we'll kind of see what Russia does afterwards if Russia also goes totalist. It seems like a pretty heavy totalist influence right now. Finland, did you end up winning your war, or are you still fighting out? You know, you're still at war with the Russians, okay. I don't remember how much territory. I think Finland takes, like, this state. I think sometimes they can even take, like, all of this, depending, but... I think they usually take at least 2 states. You're half a year ahead of time. Give me 1918 support. I'm pretty sure Finland takes, like, these 2 provinces after the war. Actually, Finland's actually losing some territory. Okay, give me the stability. We can ban yo-yos in Damascus, or where the hell that was, Aleppo. That's fine by me. We need so many guns. And everyone's kind of mad at us. Which I'm not surprised by, but, like, could you just, like, not... Can you just be, like, nicer to me? Like, I don't want to sound rude, but please be nice to me. 15% integration with you. Is there any of these we can even take right now? Oh, we got an airport. Thank you for the 10-year experience. I will not say no to that. And France elected a kingdom. By the way, I wonder who's going to win the election in the United States. We'll probably see a 4-way civil war. That's typically what happens here. Okay, we got the Zveno coup in Bulgaria. Do we think Bulgaria is going to reach out and try to be friendly with us? Because I kind of think I don't want to be friendly with Bulgaria. I think I want to invade Bulgaria, like, as soon as we're able to. Take some territory for ourselves. It just seems good. It just seems beneficial to me. Yeah, so once you're done, we will solve our depression. Okay, more support for the syndicalist. War on the peninsula. After the Vil Creek and the victory of our Southline state over the Arab revolt, we reasserted our hold over the tribal hinterlands on the peninsula. The Saudis, having fought against the Porte during the early parts of the war, flipped sides near the end and joined in on the repression of the Hashemites in the Hejaz. Continuous bickering between our two tributaries over the complete control of the peninsula, however, never ceased. And ever since the fall of the British Empire in 1925, the Saudis have built up their strength to deliver the death blow to the Rashidi-dominated Northern Federation of Emirs. As both sides pledge full allegiance to the Caliphate, and our resources are thinly spread and depleted due to years of war, we have little interest in intervening in their conflict. Tribes in the Hejaz, Mian and the House of Al-Shibah in Kuwait, however, are less complacent in the situation, and have pledged to support the Rashidis to quell the Wahhabitist plague once and for all. Ottoman Germany in the region have warned us of a large group of young Arab men sitting on horseback into the desert, armed to the teeth, are warning us that if we might have issues demobilizing these volunteers should they return, and the flames of Arab independence may continue within these men. Again, I do want to support you, because the Saudis will go to war with us. Can I send you a volunteer? I can send you one division. I'm going to send you an infantry. Fahrenheit Pasha, which I'm sure is not your name. We're going to send you over here. Belgium declared their independence. That's not necessarily a bad thing. As long as they don't go syndicalists, we're still okay. But I don't want like a strong socialist presence. Okay, conspiracy grants a Grand Vizier. The rebranded national security is already proving its value, as the complete reform of the institution has been seen by many as its more unsavory members removed from their function. Angered by the dismissal, rumors have started to surface of an organization called the Crackle Society, which among its notable members are men like Karakelmel. And even though, for now, it seems unlikely the clique is anything apart from the group of men with shared grudge against the Grand Vizier and the government, they could potentially prove to be an issue further down the line. An interesting proposal has also come from the head of the new Millier Emiet Himeti to use the organization to benefit the party. By keeping constant pressure on his members and their associates, he hopes to have them lash out prematurely, and as such, easily prey for his agents. Furthermore, the idea is also circulated to use the organization to fabricate domestic crisis, and as such, grant an opportunity for the Grand Vizier to consolidate his authority over the administration. Flush the rats out. But I think at least for right now, this is a great time for us to end off for today. So if you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoying, click thumbs down. You want to see more, subscribe, and goodbye.